One of the mindset shifts I had when I went through this is being less concerned about interest rate. Obviously, still concerned, but not less concerned, but being more concerned about like overall cost, the policies and benefits that come with certain loans. For example, I pay a higher interest rate to have one of my loans in a trust, for example, but it offers me other benefits. So like there are reasons why you would take a higher rate loan rather than just always going for basal rate within that. But the other big one I look at now is going, well, I want to make sure that I take on the type of lending that allows me to keep playing the game, right? I think there's a real risk in people getting obsessed with cost cutting, just like they could get obsessed with cost cutting in business and then forgetting about, well, actually, do you know what? Growing the business is a really big part of this. So if you get yourself into a position where, well, great, I got the best loan ever. I mean, I'm never, ever going to achieve my goals or hit my dreams because I'm stuck and I can't get things done. You may be potentially playing the wrong game. Like just playing for cheap isn't playing to win. Now, I want to throw in a sub question on this because this was actually me and I think this is a really good one to put on this episode. Is it risky? Now, I'm someone who's got, I don't know how many loans I have right now, but at this point of the recording the podcast, I've got 11 properties. And let's just say 11 loans to go with that. We won't unpack that further. Is it risky to have 11 mortgages with one bank? Is having all my lending with one bank a risk?
There's lots of debate around having your mortgages with one bank, whether it's risky or not risky. And I suppose as you build a property portfolio, having it with one bank or having it with a bank that has a lower service time to get approved is going to be a benefit. I suppose we look at lenders about what they do with policy to be able to keep you borrowing. That's the first line versus the risk. So, for example, recently we've had some lenders come out that they'll accept 90% of rental income versus the traditional 80%. We've got banks that treat debt differently to other banks. So there is some theories out there that we can exhaust serviceability or your borrowing capacity with one bank and then move on to the next bank. That's quite a common theme that we hear out in the marketplace. If you want to dig into the risk stuff, all lenders have some risk scores on people. So the more you borrow from them, and simple example, when I've got clients that are getting moving through their journey to 3 to 4 properties with the same lender, at 1, 2, and 3, they weren't too concerned about some. They were happy to take some people's disclosures on how much their rental property costs to hold. But as soon as they went to the 4, even though they were PAYG, they were asking for the individual tax return to have a look at what the actual strata fees are, for example, or property management costs are, and put that in there just to have some more scrutiny as they get greater exposure with this one client. And then they might they might have a max number of properties that you can hold with that particular bank. You might have the dollar figure of the amount of lending before you go into a higher level, say business banker or something like that, where there's a lot more scrutinization on you. So it's always good to be able to distribute your lending across different lenders where possible and decrease your risk on that, because let's put this lenders have analytics on your bank accounts, whether you like it or not, whether you're going to Uber Eats through to a restaurant through to just going to Coles or Aldi, they have lender analytics on you about what's going on. And one of the things is if you don't owe money to a particular bank and they do lender analytics on you, it's going to be slightly more interesting than if you've got all your lending, all your business banking accounts, all your personal accounts with one lender and they're doing analytics on you. That's a really interesting thing about the big brother there about are you risky? Are you not risky? Most banks have a lot of protections around consumer protection laws and things, but they will do a lot of analytics on you about what's going on. And if you have fluctuations in business and stuff, that's where we find those questions about, we don't like the credit card up at that limit for you, or no, we can't get you another property. We're not going to lend you any more money. And a lot of people that owe only one bank, and they go back there and they go, can I get another property? And they say no. They're stuck, and they go, where do I go? Where do I go? And that's where the broker comes in. So is it risky? It can be, depending on how large your portfolio is. Is it risky in the way that you're going to be thrown under the bus from the tier one lender? Probably not.
Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.